Oh well, this is fun.
Real driving test. On the 3rd of October 2024 in Hinckley, you can see that we parked in the car park outside the Hinckley Driving Test Centre. It's not a test centre car park, as you can see there's a row of shops there. The one in front has decided not to park in there, which is good because it leaves us a bit of a space to move out into. And there we go. So the test is now starting. They've done the tell me question. And we're going to get to the end of the car park here where you see we'll slow right down to look along the side street there to see if there's anything coming up that road. And then we're going to turn left onto actual Brookside itself. There might be a little bit of traffic there that he needs to wait for. There it is, there was. And now he's moving out. So in the car is the examiner and the pupil or learner driver. And we're coming along Brookside now. Normally, a lot of the tests turn right up to that one into Forester's Road. But we're going along a little bit now. And the examiner's asking him to show me how to open and close the side window. And he's doing that. And that's why you'll hear the background noise as kind of dipped and disappeared. Because not allowed to publish the conversation between the examiner and the pupil or learner. And every now and again you'll hear it dip away. So in a few moments we're going to be turning right, and it's going to be the next right here. As you turn right, and anywhere really off of Brookside, you're turning right this way, you will have a hill to climb. So as you turn right here, you must add a bit of gas just to get yourself up the hill. And this is Higham Way. Quite a sunny day, wasn't it, there on the 3rd of October? In fact, October was a bit one of those months, weren't it, where it was sunny a lot and raining a lot, so nothing in between, really. So we had some really nice days. And this is where he's going to do the hill start. So we saw that Higham Lane was quite a gradient. And so he's doing the hill start now. Hopefully there'll be no rollback. I know there wasn't. And away we go. And we're going to be taking the next road on the left. That takes us into Atkins Way. And we've come out of the sunshine now. And we're going to do an angled start behind this or just in front of this red Mercedes. So we've done a hill start already and now an angled start, and we're only a few minutes into the test, aren't we? So, you know, we're getting on to doing all the kind of exercises quite early on, and it's come away from there really very nicely. All the way along to Atkins Way. It's quite a wide road here. Atkins Way is, and there's some shops on the left. You'll probably recognise it. It runs parallel to Brookside, and there is a crossroads in the middle of it here, and we're going to follow the road ahead at these crossroads. And he's crept up to the line, he's looked, and he's going to creep out. That's brilliant, all done. And this takes you then into Dewport Road, and there'll be another little exercise to do on this Dewport Road as well. So it seems from this, doesn't it, that the driving test is all about doing the bits and pieces and, you know, getting through all the kind of different things that you have to do rather than driving the car really properly, but that will come later. That was nice how he held back there. Again, we're on a bit of a hill and he's controlled the car very, very nicely. He's going to be asked to pull in and park on the left here, and then they're going to do an emergency stop. Now in the DVSA, now they call this a controlled stop, but what I've noticed is the examiners always seem to say we're going to stop as if in an emergency, or we're going to do an emergency stop. I very rarely hear them say controlled stop, but we all know what it means, don't we? He's going to pull off. The examiner will give him the sign where he'll hold his hand up and say stop, and that's when he wants him to do the actual emergency stop, just as though a child had run off the road, off the pavement onto the road in front of the car. So we're coming along, he'll say to him, don't worry about what's behind you. The examiner will look for that, and there's your stop, and that was quite a nice one. and then we can move on from here. Important that you check both shoulders now before you move on again, and you make it really smooth, and away you go, and you get back into controlling the car. So that's an emergency stop on Dewport Road. That's worth knowing. If you're going to practice that, that'll be a good road to use. And at the end of here, we're going to be turning right then, as we can see. So we're turning right at the end of the road, and again, because it's the end, we're going to drop it into first gear. We're going to creep up, look, and creep out, and there you are. Onto Hill Rise. There's a car parked in the way, so we're going to move out from that quite early on. It's a police car. Don't crash into any police cars. They have no sense of humour about that whatsoever. They always think it's really serious. And now he's going to hold back a little bit and let this car come through. Very nicely done, actually. I'll let you into a little secret. The lad did pass this test, and he passed it with ease. But there were one or two faults, and we'll have to see if we can spot them as we're driving around. Right, Hill Rise, and we're coming to the end of it. We're going to be turning left. All of these test videos that I've been putting out is they're all actual driving tests, and driving tests are conducted on specific routes. So the examiner doesn't get to choose where to go, but he has to follow a route that's been set out. So with that in mind, we know that if we learn these routes, then that, or the junctions, or where the dodgy bits are, or just the route in general, then we know that gives us a bit of an edge, and we can pass the test easier like that. This is Hinckley Road, and we're going through Burbage actually now. We can see there's someone in the road there. He's going to open and close his door. Good. And then that means that we can move out and along a bit. Yeah, the lad here has passed his test. He's 17 years old. He's done absolutely fantastic, and it's his first test. So that's brilliant. Everything about that is good, isn't it? He was a good driver from day one, and he was a good driver on all of his lessons, and he's passed this with absolute ease. He's done very, 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 very well. Took a lot of lessons with his dad as well, so that's helped him. So he's got lots and lots of private practice. That's what we call that, private practice. It's not really private practice, so it's just driving out with your mum or dad, isn't it, really? But there it is. But it's absolutely paid dividends for him, and you can see from this video that he's actually is a very, very good driver. Around here, we're going to see that it goes back. We're just going to follow this road around. This bit's actually a 20 zone, although I've not marked that down. So just bear that in mind, that round by that church, it's actually 20. And I've missed that. I forgot to change the speed there. But just as you get around a couple of these bends, it will go back to 30 anyway. Going through Burbage now, as you might call this Burbage Town Centre. I doubt many people do that. Past the memorial. And we're just going to follow this road around. There you go. And actually, here is where it goes back to the 30, I think. Quite narrow, isn't it? Quite bendy. It's been made more narrow by the parked cars. So he's just taking it steady, taking his time, making sure there's nothing oncoming that's going to kind of get in his way, or he's not going to get in their way. And we'll be taking the next road on the right anyway here. Excellent, that's it. So we're just going around here. We're now in Windsor Street, and again, still quite narrow roads, made more narrow by the parked cars. And we can expect it's a reasonably busy little area, although there's not much traffic about today by look of things. But there's always something. And you can see he's moved in, he's given way, and he's moved out. Hardly stopped, hardly slowed down. Very, very nicely done. Well read, actually. Read that situation very, very nicely. Someone pulling out. Nope, they're waiting. That's fine. And now we're looking as far down the road, look right through the space, right to the end, so that you can see if it's clear or not. And you can see whether you need to wait or whether you can go. And with all of these situations, you must do that. Look beyond the parked car and see what's there, and beyond this car coming through, so you can see where the gap is. And if there's a space, then you can move directly into it. And if there's not a space, you've already seen that and you'll need to wait a bit longer. So again, as we're coming down here, it's a fairly long road, but there's a lot going on, isn't there? So he's looking as far along the road as you can see, looking right beyond the parked cars and into the spaces. And we're going to pull up on the left just after this junction. And that's where the independent driving will begin. Now the independent driving on this test is going to be the SatNav, and so we'll be following the SatNav, and you will hear the background noise kick in then, because the examiner will stop speaking. So we're just getting ready to pull off. It's just been said to him this will be the independent driving, and to follow the SatNav from this point going forward. There we go. Alright, so we're on our way now. And we can hear the sound of the car driving along the road. There's a white van there again. He's going to look beyond the white van and see if he can see a space. And obviously he can do, because he's moving out and going round. So that's brilliant as well. Again, this is quite a long road, and the SatNav is going to...
At the end of the road, turn left, then cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
Okay, so it's going to be left and then straight on, basically, at the next two junctions. And because the SatNav has spoken about both of the junctions, you know that they're quite close to each other.
Turn left, then cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
And actually, if the examiner was giving the directions there, they would also say about both junctions, because they're so close. So that's a kind of clue, isn't it? If you get
cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
Two instructions at the same time, you know that they're fairly close to each other, and once you've done one, then immediately you'll be doing the next one. He's kept his position on this roundabout absolutely brilliantly, and we're moving along down that road. So on that roundabout, by the way, just we went through there a few days earlier, and someone had come off their motorbike on that roundabout, and there was all ambulances there and everything as well. So hopefully they were okay. Now when we get to this roundabout, this is going to be the M69 roundabout here, and he's been asked to turn right, and he's following the signs for the A5 North. Although the SatNav didn't say A5 North, she just said, I think she said third exit, didn't she?
Go right on the roundabout and take the fifth exit.
Fifth exit, there you go. The fifth exit happens to be the A5 North, and we can see that we're in a absolute, national speed limit area. Although, that means 60, which we obviously can't do through the roundabout here. He's going to... The pupil there is just, the learner there is just kind of expressing his kind of worry about this roundabout, and he wants to make sure that he does it right. That's fair enough, isn't it? You are allowed to talk on your test. Whether the examiner will answer you or not, that's a different thing. Some do, some don't. And you can see he's just kept himself nicely in the lane which says A5 North, and that's the one that takes you along to the fifth exit. As long as you stay in your lane here, you absolutely can't go wrong. It's important not to skirt over any of the road markings for the lanes on either side of you, which is absolutely making sure he doesn't do. And you'll see that the roundabout will take you off of the exit, and you'll be absolutely fine. So the thing about that spiral roundabout, and all of them actually, all the kind of multi-lane roundabouts some people call them, or spiral roundabouts, is to, you know, when you enter in, find your lane, just stay in it, and it will take you around and take you off. They're very, very easy actually. Just around here, these two lanes will merge, so you'll need a little look in your right door mirror just to make sure no one's overtaking you at that time. And this is Watling Street, and it's the A5. I'm going to go quite a long way along the A5, and in this section it's a 40 mile an hour zone. Another person in the road. We're just following the road ahead here. Just a little note about Watling Road at this end. As you drive around, on your left you'll see little inlets where they very often put a speed camera van, so very important not to go over the speed limit. There wasn't one there on this day, so that's fine. We can just drive along really. Not much happens on this road as you're driving down it. It's just a basically long, quicker road. There is going to be a roundabout that comes up though, and you know, we'll have to go straight ahead, staying on this A5 at the roundabout, and he will need to use the left-hand lane to do that. So let's see how he gets on. It's coming up in a few moments.
After 800 yards, cross the roundabout and take the first exit.
There you go, first exit on the roundabout, and you know, let's see how he gets on with that. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely fine. There'll be no problems there. Well, we know, don't we? We know there were no problems because we know he did pass. So we can see that we're starting to see signs. One says the road might be slippy, and we'll see a big roundabout sign just as there's clearing in the trees. There it is. So it's important there just to stay in on the left, and that will automatically put you in the left lane. Going to slow right down here. That's it. And around, keeping it on the left there. Indicating down. And now you'll see the speed limit will change from 40 up to 50 miles an hour. And there you go, you saw a little bit of acceleration going on there, and we can see that we're moving a bit quicker along this section. I'm going to come to another roundabout in a few moments.
After 400 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the second exit, then turn left.
And the SatNav's asked him to turn to turn right on the roundabout and then turn left. So there again, two instructions in the same little section, telling us
go right on the roundabout and take the second exit, then turn left.
Telling us that both of these junctions are quite close to each other. So once you've gone around the roundabout, then you can expect the left turn to be quite soon. And actually, here we go, we're going around the roundabout now. It's going to change his signal to a left one, coming off, and then the you know, the left turn should be quite soon.
Turn left, then at the end of the road,
there you go.
Turn right.
So it is already there, and it said at the end of the road then turn right. Again, that tells us that's quite close. It's actually here, but the examiner's saying don't worry about that, just go round the bend, because the Sally SatNav has got that wrong. It used to be a junction like that, but now it's just a bend in the road, and so they've gone around the bend there. Got giveaway lines. Do we need to give way to anyone? Yes, there is a white van coming through, so he's just eased back. He's holding there, and there's another couple of cars. So now he's looking beyond these cars coming along here, looking for where his space is going to be, where he can start to move forward. And actually, it's going to be there, isn't it? And there you go, we can move forward now. Now along this Nuts Lane, we're going to see that there is a humpback bridge. And because it's only a single lane over the humpback bridge, there'll be a traffic light, and that's going to make him decide whether he's going to go or wait. At the moment it's on red, and so he's going to need to just wait at the line. He'll just wait for it to go green, and then he'll move on. And you can see how narrow that is, and that's why they put traffic lights there. Is pop the handbrake on. This is a hill start, isn't it? This is another hill start. Make sure the car doesn't roll back. No, we went forward. That's fantastic. We'll go up and over. Because the light's on green, we know there won't be anything, shouldn't be anything coming
at the end
on the
of the
opposite
road,
way.
turn left, then turn right.
So again, 2 instructions, and so again they're quite close to each other. But we're going to come to the end of the road and turn left. Turning right out of this road is a complete nightmare, by the way, and they do ask you to do that sometimes, but today we're in a bit of luck, so we're going to turn left.
Turn right.
It's quite a busy road to move out onto here. There we go, it's Comentary Road, and then turn right, and you can see it's there almost immediately. It's done very well to move into the safety lane, and then we're just going to wait here. I don't know whether they're called safety lanes. I always call them safety lanes because basically that's what they are. So we're in there. You heard the handbrake go on. There is just waiting for the gap in the traffic that he's going to use. This looks like a good one. Let's see if he's going to go in there, in behind the blue car. Excellent. There we go. Now the SatNav is going to ask him to turn right at the next roundabout, but the examiner's going to say to him, no, don't turn right, just go straight ahead.
After 200 yards, go right on the roundabout and take the third exit.
In fact, what the examiner said was, I'm going to override the SatNav now, and I'm going to ask you to go straight ahead at the roundabout. And then once he's gone straight at the roundabout, it's going to ask him to turn right into a car park where they're going to do their kind of manoeuvre. But for the moment, we're just going straight ahead at this roundabout here. Around we go. There's no junction on the left, but we need to just signal left now, coming off, and then the examiner is now saying, okay, take the next right. It's a car park. It's just on this bend. You see the yellow gateway, and he's turned into there. So they're going to do a forward bay park on this in this car park now. The examiner's saying to him, don't go into the disabled bay, but just go past that and just drive forward into a bay. Quite smooth. We've got into there. We're within the lines, no problem. No one on the park. Oh, there is one person. There's a couple of people on the park there at the moment. Even though it's such a nice day, it is a weekday, so I suppose school day, and all the kids are at school, I suppose. I'm going to reverse out of this bay in a few seconds and make our way to the car park entrance or an exit, and then we'll see where we go from there. He's just paused. That would suggest that there's another car, something else. There you go. So he's just spotted the pedestrians there behind him. So he's paused, let them go by. They've gone into the playground, and now we're going to carry on with our drive. So now facing the entrance stroke exit. And away we go. That was a very nice manoeuvre. Good observations there for seeing the pedestrians. Brilliant observations, actually. So no problems there. And we're turning left onto the road. And the examiner's now said, that's okay. So the SatNav is going to, again,
go left
tell you
on the
where to
roundabout and take the first exit.
We're going to go left. And so we're back on track now, aren't we? As to where the Sally SatNav wanted us to go. There always seems to be a couple of cars parked just there. And there we go. So there's cars parked on both sides. So he's going to have to find it, just kind of almost not zigzag, but almost find his way through. The SatNav, the Dashcam did something a bit daft there, and but we're still on Langdale Road, so we're just a bit further down the road there. I don't know why that Dashcam does that.
After 200 yards, bear right, then at the end of the road, turn left.
Okay, so she's asking them to bear right, and we know on Langdale Road, don't we, there's a very sharp, very acute right angle bend. Just coming up here.
Bear right, then, at the end of the road, turn left.
So she said to bear right, and again 2 instructions, so that means the end of the road will be coming up quite soon and we can actually see where it is.
At the end of the road, turn left.
So we're turning left at the end, and that's going to bring us back onto Comentary Road, and we know how busy
Turn
that
left.
is. So he's coming up quite a steep hill here. He's going to pause, and that's just to allow anything on the road there to pass in front of us, and that's what he was waiting for. And another one, and when he can see a space that he can use, then he'll move forward and out. And this is a hill start. This is quite the gradient, and he's made very little of it, so that's brilliant as well, isn't it? Comentary Road is a 30-mile-an-hour zone still, and we're just going to follow this road down here. It's going to take us all the way to the traffic lights near to the town centre. So these ones are just a crossing, and we know if it's just a crossing that they'll be on red for a very short while, but then they'll go back to green. And we can see also that there is a sign for roadworks. If you look in the distance, you can see exactly where the roadworks are and where the queue is for them. This next sign means temporary lights, and then there's a sign for saying that the road narrows. So the lights are on red, as we can see, and luckily for us we can see just down the side there's only about 3 or 4 cars in front of us, and that kind of suggests that they've only just gone on to red, because it's quite a busy road. So you know, if it had been on red a long time, maybe there'd be more cars waiting here. So that then suggests also that you've got a little bit of a rest, and you can just, you know, just kind of gather your thoughts. A good clue as to when these lights are going to go back to green is when the oncoming traffic stops coming through, because that means that their lights have gone on to red. So their lights will go to red, then there'll be a little bit of a gap to let the road clear in between the 2 lights, and then our lights will go to green. So we're looking at the traffic coming through there. It's still coming through at a fair old rate, you know, fair old rate of numbers anyway, although they do seem to have slowed down. Maybe they're waiting at the crossing that was just behind us. Maybe they're waiting there. Our lights have gone to green, and now we should start to move forward. There we go. So the Volvo is going to go, and we're going to go, and the Volvo's letting the guy out on the side road, and we're going to go through the space. So as I was saying, well, this is going to take us all the way to the lights near to the town centre, and at those lights is going to be asked
After
to
300 yards, turn right, then turn right.
to turn right, and that's from here. That's going to take us down towards Sainsbury's. So it's a very acute angle again. It's less than 90 degrees as we go around there. So the first thing he'll do is the lights will go to green. He'll move into the centre. He may
Turn
or
right,
may not.
then turn right.
He may or may not have to wait in the centre of the junction for the space, and then he's going to go around. But it is quite a tight turn. Already there's a green van that's waiting in the centre there. They've gone round, and we're going to slow down a little bit. And we'll go around. If you notice, the lights went to amber then just as he crossed. Obviously there is a point of no return, and if you have to do an emergency stop just to stop at the lights, then you perhaps should have gone through, and he went through, and that's absolutely fine. Again, it's not a major fault, it's probably not even a fault, and we know that he passed, so it's fine, isn't it? And you can see those lights changed just as he went over the line there again. So going past Sainsbury's, we always need to be in the right hand lane here, because the left hand lane only goes into Sainsbury's, and the person in the Murphy van has just realised that, and away we go. And that's nice of our learner there, wasn't it? Because he could see that the van wanted to move over, so he held back a bit for him, and that's ideal. We're on Rugby Road now. We're on our way back to the test centre. And you'll know, won't you, if you know your Hinckley at all?
After 300 yards, go straight on, then cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
That's it. If you know your Hinckley at all, you'll know that you're on your way back to the test centre now. And the thing to do is to keep your concentration level really high, because it's gone very well, and it'd be an absolute tragedy to, you know, let it all go to pot now. The lights are on red here.
Go straight on, then cross the roundabout and take the second exit.
We're going past the Hinckley hub where the council people do their work, or allegedly they do work. But then when the lights go green, we'll be moving past there. I say allegedly, I do know someone that works in there, and he tells me that he works very, very hard, and yeah, but he never seems to be that tired. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying about that. There you go. Anyway, we're going to go straight ahead there.
After 200 yards, cross the roundabout and take the second exit, then turn left.
Takes us under the low bridge, remember to duck, and then we're going to keep in the left lane as we come up to this roundabout, and that's going to take us on.
Cross the roundabout and
here.
take the second
No
exit,
one to give way to
turn
there.
left.
It's kept in his left lane again, all the way around here. And it's going to bring us down to the traffic lights at Brookside again. So that's where we started from.
After 100 yards, turn left, then you have reached your destination.
So once the SatNav says it's reached its destination, it'll get round the corner here. Once it says that, then the examiner will again say, you know, you don't need to follow the SatNav anymore, I'll give you directions, and you will hear the background noise drop away. There it goes. So now the examiner's giving him directions. He's directing him back into the car park, which is on the left from here. You'll see a pillar box, and it's just there. And he's saying turn left into the car park and go directly towards the green fence, and we'll stop there. It's going to ask him actually to steer to the right around the silver car, so that someone else can also fit in. Is he going to do that? Yes, that's it. And then you'll get the pleasure of seeing me. There I am, leaning up against a wall. Lazy article. I've just noticed that they've come back, as is my friend Ian there, just coming back, and he's saying to me, oh, you better go and have a look, see how they're getting on. I'll see you later, Ian. And we'll see. And this is where we find out that he's actually passed. It's his first test. He's a 17-year-old lad. He's done very, very, very well. And I hope this video has helped you as well to see where people go on the Hinckley test and the kind of junctions and things that they come up against. Okay, hopefully it's been good for you. I'm sorry that I forgot to edit the 30 out where it went to a 20 zone in Burbage, but we know where that is. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.